No bugs. Well, hello. Welcome back to the channel. It is I, Tristan. Welcome back to the channel. So, I want to get on here for a good 10 minutes to, give you guys an update about what's going on lately. Well, I just, got back home from going to get mom's prescription, and then I had to go and stop at Goodwill to drop off some clothes that she wanted dropped off. She just never got around to doing it, but anyway, we got it done. So this week has been, this is my first day being out in a while, and, I'm just making sure everything in here is still good. So anyway, we went and drove over to the Walmart. Prescription. Then we went over to what's it called? Goodwill. So what happened is first I was supposed to go to Goodwill first to drop off the clothes, right? Well, guess what? That ended up not happening right away, because there was construction and traffic was backed all the way up to the furthest intersection to where you can get to what's it called, the first intersection to get to the the parking lot of the Walmart. So anyway, I go up to the Walmart. So I had to go up to the Walmart. Then I found out I couldn't cut across to get to Goodwill, so I had to turn around and go through another parking lot to drop it off. And then I went to go and drop it off again. No, I had to go through the parking lot again to get this dropped off. That's exactly what we did here. So we got it all dropped off, and now we are I got it dropped off and got my prescription. But yeah, I want to talk about the new channel name. So I changed my name to All Terrain Tristan because, well, I was a cyclist, so that's considered all terrain. And then now I'm driving this. This is all terrain thoughts. So anyway, so like I said, today was a crazy day doing a lot of driving. I probably drove for like an hour now. Been on the road for like an hour, so that's how long it took because of that construction. So anyway, so there was construction, so traffic was backed up. So that's what happened, and I was thinking about taking a different route home, but then I decided not to because I don't know my way around. So I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to construction, and turns out everything worked out. Didn't have any issues. No issues with drivers, no issues with people. you know. Now, the only thing that did happen was when I went to, when I was going through the parking lot at the Goodwill, you know, there's a stop, you know, I stopped at a stop sign. Well, this guy in a Hyundai Sonata, you know, leans out, you know, looks at me, saying something. I'm like, what you talking about? You know, I don't know. But yeah, it was such craziness, you know. And then there was this old lady who was backing up a Subaru out of a parking spot over off to the right there in the parking lot, and she, you know, she's looking at me, moving all slow, and she's kind of looking at me like I was supposed to give a right of way. I'm like, no, I'm not supposed to give you right of, like, I have the right of way. I'm on the main, you know, I quote, main street of a shopping center, you know. I'm on the main street there, you know, so technically you got to be the one to you know, wait on for me to go. And yeah, so that all had happened, you know, but I pulled up next to this Jeep Renegade, and the people, the ladies that were in there did not leave any ducks or anything, because they had ducks on their dashboard and stuff, but after that they didn't have anything else on there. You know, they were just looking at me, or the passenger was looking at me, because, you know, because I was in here driving, I guess, I don't know. Maybe they're just like, oh, well, look, a Jeep Wrangler pulled up next to us who happens to have 2 ducks on his dashboard, and the rest, hand signs. Yeah, well, is what it is, right? So anyway, yeah, so that had happened. So then after I had left Walmart, you know, because the lady in the Jeep Renegade was looking at me, you know, because I had pulling out and stuff. And driving this thing's like driving a U-Haul, you know. It's kind of like a U-Haul. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like you're driving a U-Haul, you know. And then, you know, it feels like you're driving a U-Haul, you know, because the steering, which, you know, everything worked out. You know, my gas gauge fluctuated a little bit, as if, you know, it's not reading gas. By the way, I forgot to mention this. I'm going to end up having to get an inspection here soon, so I'm going to have to tell my auto mechanic people that I'm going to need the filler neck replaced, because it was recalled and the previous owner never replaced it. So I'm going to have to replace it. So, you know, that's that. And then my mom's got to get her car in the shop because she's due for an oil change. And her windshield wipers are completely worn out. So, you know, she needs to get that replaced, but she just hasn't done so. So, but yeah, we made it to where we needed to go, you know, and made it through that construction zone. Because, you know, here's the thing about construction zones, you got to be careful, because, you know, it being a construction zone and them being on the road and the road being narrow and everything. So, and I mostly just go the flow with traffic when I'm going through those, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we made it home. I finally was able to use my phone mount, so listen to music But otherwise, we made it to and back safe and sound. So, yeah, made it to and back. So, you know, and then as I was going uphill, you know, in the main infamous hill that is around that, as I was going uphill, my speed started to drop, and it started shaking a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's the transmission or what, but yeah, so that's what happened. But other than that, everything else should be fine. I'm sure this is needing to shut down, because every time I go on a trip with this thing, it's like the heat just comes soaring out of there. So yeah, looking at that wire. But anyway, yeah, so we made it home. You know, all's good. You know, had to take a different route, but hey, we got there and back, easy peasy. So yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out. I'm going to look for any bugs or anything that, because I had those bags were on the ground and I saw a bug come out of it. But yeah, I'm gonna go look to see if there's any bugs in here, because we don't want any bugs. So I'm just gonna look real quick, show you guys, and then that's basically gonna call it quits for the video. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching today's video. Make sure you like, you comment, and you subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video. So AC off. Let me get this stuff ready. I'm gonna go show you guys. All right. Yeah, I can't get the Alright, I don't see anything in here. I can check the back too. No bugs.